love Volume 2. And by the way, there's a Marvin the Martian cartoon where at the end of the cartoon, Marvin is actually singing with Michigan J. Frog. I kid you not. It is so weird, but it is so real that there's actually a cartoon with Michigan J. Frog and Marvin the Martian singing together. This collection actually includes that cartoon, but only this Platinum collection. So the reason to get this collection is the remaining Taz and Marvin cartoons that they didn't release on the Golden collections. It's only the ending of the cartoon, but it's really weird. It's like in that moment they're both the same size, even though technically Michigan J. Frog is shorter than he is. But anyway, you know, they were just fooling around. Duck Dodgers in the return of the 24th and half century. Their outfits look a little different, and he does encounter Marvin in it, and the animation is different. Aside from Bugs and Daffy, Marvin the Martian is my favorite Looney Tunes character. And I'm sure, like other Marvin fans felt as they watched the film, we were all like, what the hell? I don't know. The more I think about it, like Marvin had a small role in the original Space Jam also. He didn't play on the team in the original, but this is the sequel, and this is 20 years later, 25 years later, and they added other new members to the team, such as Gossamer, and, you know, it's like an improvement in many ways to the original. But without fucking including Marvin on the team? This was Tweety's big movie. It's funny how Marvin is here on the cover, because he does have one scene in the movie, and it's kind of weird. It's very cool to see him, though. Tweety's in, like, New York City. Marvin's on stilts, and I think because they don't explain what Marvin was doing in that scene, but I think he was pretending to be a human or something. It was weird. He was, like, walking around on stilts, and then the cloak is pulled from underneath him. Cool, though. I wish he was in the movie more, but whatever. So this is just a portion of my Space Jam collection. Giant figure. Got my Marvin the Martian. I know it's just a regular Marvin the Martian. I do have one where he's a referee as a toy. And these are my Space Jam shoes. Here we have the 2016 release, and it matches the colors of Marvin the Martian. Being the ref in the original Space Jam, you got the green and red, and this is a Jordan. Sci-fi. Star Wars made sci-fi really hip again. Marvin the Martian was a character that was super sci-fi, super Star Wars-esque. In fact, because Star Wars has a lot of influences from older material. So when you think about it, it's like Darth Vader. He kind of reminds you of Marvin the Martian. Like the way he looks, his helmet, he's evil, or a villain. A misunderstood villain, like Marvin. It's similar. So what about our boy Marvin? Does he have a bigger role in Back in Action than he does in Space Jam? Arguably. I guess so, you would say that, yeah. Because he's got the blue monkey, they fight him in outer space, all that shit. Yeah, like Marvin winds up being the last big villain of the film. The jokes are pretty cool. Daffy's like the owner of this mall, and he's like Scrooge, so it's another, you know, cartoon, family-friendly version of a Christmas Carol. I'm sure it's just like the cartoon. Yeah, sorry I don't have a review for that one, but yeah, Baby Looney Tunes was pretty cool back in the day. Some people have made arguments over the years that, oh, Marvin makes small appearances here and there, and that's kind of one of the things that made him so charming and big, is because you get to see less and less of him. And then when he does show up, you're like, oh my god, it's Marvin! Like, less is better, you know? But, even still, you'd think by now, it wouldn't be like this no more. of all the decades the Looney Tunes have been around, the 90s, the animation they gave them in the 90s was the best they've ever looked, in my opinion. You can see that in any time they ever appeared in the 90s, whether it was TV commercials. A year before Space Jam came out, there was this Super Nintendo video game called Looney Tunes B-Ball. And one of the playable characters on the team, you guessed it, Marvin the Martian. That's right.
Boom!
And even in the Looney Tunes B-Ball game, he was playing basketball with the Tunes. So this whole dumb argument that he's like not a Looney Tune, that he's just an alien, bullshit. He's a fucking Looney Tune. Now they also had this Marvin the Martian toy with him in this giant robot, and which was also released months before the film. And I was thinking, oh cool, okay, is that like a secret? Like Marvin's gonna have this giant robot like in the movie, and he's gonna use it and play it in the game? Like I thought that was why it's a Space Jam Marvin toy, but nope. Never uses the robot once in the movie. Doesn't even play on the team either. At least Marvin was the ref in the original. I guess they gave Marvin a significant role in both Space Jams, but you think 25 years later they would learn that Marvin is such a beloved character that now he belongs on the team with them. I mean, Marvin is a Looney Tune. Yes, he's an alien and a villain, but he's also a Looney Tune. If you want to be technical, all the Looney Tunes are really... a lot of them are villains. Done better in Space Jam 2, so I think that's pretty interesting. So it's not the first time Bugs has stolen Marvin's UFO. We actually did it in one of the really old ones, like from the 50s or whatever, but it's from the original cartoon that they put in the commercial for early Space Jam, and now it's in Space Jam 2. So the biggest bullshit is that they even had a fucking McDonald's commercial with all the teammates wearing their jerseys, and Marvin's wearing a Toon Squad jersey. Savor that animation, because that is the only time where you will see Marvin wearing the Toon Squad jersey in animated form.
This planet into 1 trillion microatoms all those years ago. It's a wonderful little place to spend my vacation, and it's so cheap.
I claim this asteroid and all its mineral wealth in the name of Mars.
Ready? Half time.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, Your Airness, but if you don't find a fifth player, your team will forfeit the game. Precisely, Sir Altitude.
You with my bubble gun. Disgusting Earth rodent.